Articles by Capt Frank Lanier, Getting to Know Your Diesel Engine.
Captain Kirk had it easy when the Starship Enterprise failed to achieve warp speed or even impulse power due to a faulty magnetoplasma dynamic thruster. He simply pushed a button and yelled for Scotty. But what if there's no chief engineer on board to save the captain's bacon when things mechanical head south? For those of you who don't know a lift pump from a dilithium crystal, here's a by-the-numbers look at diesel engine basics every boat owner should know before boldly going away from the dock. Raw water, Seacock, and strainer. Marine diesels have a cooling systems just like their terrestrial counterparts. However, instead of air, they use the water your boat is floating in via a heat exchanger to keep things cool. The Seacock is simply an on and off valve located at the through hull fitting that lets you provide raw water, in other words, the water your boat is floating in, to the cooling system, or shut it off when the engine is not in use or in the event of a problem, such as a ruptured hose. The strainer is located in line between the Seacock and the engine raw water pump. Its purpose is to prevent debris and other stuff from reaching the engine, where it could cause clogs and overheating issues. The bowl of the strainer should be clear, which allows you to see if it's dirty or clogged. Raw water pump. Like the name implies, it draws raw water in and pumps it through the open or raw water side of the engine's cooling system. Inside this pump is a replaceable rubber impeller, the vanes of which can fail and break off due to age or overheating when running the pump dry. Forgetting to open the engine raw water Seacock is a common cause of this. Opening the engine raw water Seacock prior to cranking your engine and checking the exhaust for ample water discharge after starting are two important items for every boat owner's engine startup checklist. Coolant system, fill and reservoir. Like the radiator in your car, the closed cooling system of your engine contains and circulates coolant, aka antifreeze, throughout your engine to keep it cool. Reservoirs allow you to check coolant levels at a glance. Primary and secondary fuel filters. Fuel filters keep gunk from reaching your engine and can clog if you take on bad fuel or when sediment in your tank is stirred up due to rough conditions. Primary filters, which are typically located external of the engine on a bulkhead or a frame or something along those lines, contains replaceable filter elements. Most have a clear bowl providing you a visual cue as to the condition of the fuel. Secondary elements are mounted on the engine and are normally a screw-on cartridge type. Air filter. A diesel engine needs two things at a minimum to run: clean fuel and clean air. The air filter, aka silencer, keeps your engine from ingesting airborne dirt and grime. A clogged air filter means loss of clean air for combustion, which can lead to any number of problems, from sputtering and loss of power to engine stoppage. Battery and primary battery switch. You need power to start your engine, and that comes from the starting battery. It can be a single battery or a battery bank, which is simply two or more batteries connected in parallel to mimic a single large battery. Most batteries have fixed voltage meters installed, typically at the main DC control panel, to help monitor battery charge. However, a handheld multimeter can also be used. The battery switch, typically big and red, allows you to turn battery power to the engine on or off. Alternator. The power you need to start your engine comes from the battery, but it's the alternator that keeps the batteries fully charged and ready. Alternators are powered by the engine via a pulley and belt system. Newer engines may use a serpentine belt rather than the old V-belt found on your grandpa's 53 Buick. If the belt fails, the alternator stops charging the batteries, which in turn will eventually discharge and fail to start the engine. Dipstick. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the device that lets you check the oil levels in your engine and reduction gear, also known as a transmission, something that should be done religiously prior to every engine startup.